What up, everybody? It's your boy Adonis here. I am doing the brand new series, Jackson 5, their album reviews. So I'm going from this album, Diana Ross Presents Jackson 5, all the way to their very last album, which is 2300 Jackson Street. I'm not comfortable reviewing that one, but here, let's go. Doodah. This track I had to listen to again just to kind of confirm how it sound. I absolutely like sing on it. I don't know if this was like remastered after compared to some of the other tracks that were on this cover or on this album, but their harmonies are on point. So I really feel like there was some additional remixing, at least in the studio for this track. It's a really great track. You can definitely hear Michael. You can hear each individual singer's voice kind of harmonized. So I really like that type of stuff. This track is like an 8 out of 10 for me. Nobody just sounds like a very old song. I know it says listed, recorded in August 1969, but it really sounds like it was made 2 years before that, because their voices just sound a lot younger. No, that one is a 7 out of 10 for me. I'm not a big fan of that track. I Want You Back. I Want You Back, such a classic track. Starts off their career in a great note. Starts showing off Michael's voice, Jermaine's voice too. I really feel like this is definitely not only the blueprint musically, but the blueprint for how they make tracks together. And it worked off very well, because I feel like a lot of boy bands from this point on, they kind of started doing that technique where they have the main singer and then they'll have the secondary singer sing a couple of lines just to kind of give it some variety. 10 out of 10, Can You Remember? I absolutely love this song. This is one of the few gems that's on this album that I absolutely love. I love his Michael Jackson's voice on this track. He has such a soft, tender voice, such a pureness to it. Very, very good. 9 out of 10 for me. Definitely a classic track for me. Standing in the Shadows of Love. This is one of the songs that start having the covers that I'm not really a big fan of. This one is better than the other covers, but it's still kind of like a 7 out of 10 for me. Changed. This one was recorded July 19th and the 29th of 1969. This one's not bad, but just like the other songs, I feel like it's just more of it's a 7 out of 10. I feel like they're still trying to figure out their sound, so it makes sense why these songs are not as strong as some of their songs later on in their career. My Sherry Amore. I'm not a fan of this one. I know that Jermaine definitely sounds very young on this album, more than all the other albums, of course, because since it's their very first album, and he didn't have that manly voice yet. So this one is like a 6 out of 10. I just feel like it doesn't really work. I feel like he should have had a different type of track for him to do, like a Marvin Gaye, like more of that like crooning type of voice, because that's really his voice, his vocal style. Who's Loving You? This is when the album just takes a cover and just runs with it. Michael kills this track. He kills it so much, people forget about the original track, and they just start remaking this one. This is a 10 out of 10, easily, hands down, one of the best tracks done by the Jackson 5. One of the best vocal performances by Michael, period, like ever. Absolutely wonderful. Chained, recorded in August of 1969. I really feel like a lot of the recordings in August of 1969 for this album don't hit as hard as some of the first tracks from this album. I'm not sure why. I know they definitely had to go back into the studio, kind of still work on tracks. It's not a bad song. It's just not one of my favorite songs off the album. This is 7 out of 10 for me. I Know I'm Losing You. sung by Jermaine. I feel like Jermaine at this point, since his voice sounds so young, a lot of the song choices I feel like just didn't work for him at this point. So this one is like a 6 out of 10. Not a fan of that. Stand. Stand is one of those few exceptions that really just shows their ability. I think because this song was just a recent song that came out before and they absolutely love it, you can hear in their voice a happiness over this song because it's like a fresh song to them. They performed it a lot in concerts. This one is a 9 out of 10 for me. Definitely one of the standout tracks on this album. And finally, Born to Love You. I had to listen to this song again just to remember. Sung by Michael and Jermaine as leads. This is not a bad song. It definitely is better than a lot of the covers that were already mentioned by me on this recording. I would give this an 8 out of 10. But overall, this album is about an 8 out of 10. It definitely shows their potential is just edging. And obviously with their very first album and they're so young, everything had to kind of start learning how to gel together when it comes to the professional album. But I think once Berry Gordy started doing I Want You Back, it's so brilliant that he was like, hey, we still have to work with them. Let's just get that clear single to like push this album. And then next year, we're just going to start pushing out those hits. And it was a perfect technique. And I absolutely love it. This is a really good album. I absolutely love Diana Ross Presents Jackson 5. Let alone the fact that you have your album saying Diana Ross Presents Jackson 5. That's like Drake having his very first album saying Lil Wayne presents Drake. That's already guaranteeing a lot of attention. Thank you so much for watching and hearing me ramble about Diana Ross Presents the Jackson 5. And please like and subscribe and check out all my other videos when I talk about Jackson 5, R&B, K-pop, and all the other art. I will talk to you later. However, whenever you want, please subscribe.